So yeah, I would say gold standard for official Transformer stuff is this.
Mm-hmm.
This is the best.
Okay.
And now we gotta look for the worst.
For decades, mankind has sought to find the best transforming figure, the cream of the car-converting crop, the best of the bumblebees, the most optimal of Optimus Primes. But has the question ever been posed, what is the worst Transformer? That's why today, we at Venus Jam Reviews seek to find the Trashest Transformer.
So let's explain the segment.
Yeah, the new Trashest Transformer. It's our series where we review what we feel are the worst of the worst Transformers.
This is Search for the Worst Transformers Edition.
Yeah, basically. Now there's a couple caveats to this. Right, couple ground rules because these need to be set because otherwise we could go hog wild. One, has to be an official Hasbro product, right? It can't be some kind of third-party garbage.
So we're not doing like dollar store Transformers?
No dollar store stuff, no OP leaders, no nothing like that. Two, it cannot be any of the crossover figures that have been done. So like no Star Wars, no movie tie-ins.
Really? Okay.
Right?
How come?
No like Top Gun Transformer, no Jurassic Park Transformer, right?
Okay.
None of those, because a lot of those, we know they suck, right?
It would be unfair, right?
Exactly, because those would just get the top 5 spots immediately.
Okay.
Another one, no Lego Transformers.
Oh.
So no, none of the new ones, right? Which we know are coming out and see are coming out. Those are not going to fall into this category.
Optimus and Bumblebee. What about Creo Transformers?
That falls under that same category.
Okay.
So none of that.
Wait, so...
You don't know the BTR ones, but basically the reason this rule exists is because of those. They came before Creo and they were garbage. Like they were really bad. And then we have to keep time period and intended audience in mind. So, right, obviously I could take a G1 figure and compare it to a modern day figure and be like, who invented this trash? This is so bad. Wow, look, it transforms in 2 steps. Who would buy this poop? It has no articulation, right? We're not going to do like those one-step guys. We're not going to do the little crash combiners, right? Because those seek out to do one thing and they do that one thing at every single cost imaginable. So yeah, with those ground rules in place, this is the series where we seek out the shittest Transformers imaginable. The ones that we just look at and we're like, man, that was weird.
That was weird.
So let's talk about our history with this toy.
So you gave this to me. This is you.
So
if I remember correctly, you just had it in your basement. And was this given to you from like a Goodwill?
Yes, so my grandma used to give me a bunch of random ass toys from Survival Center in
Oh wow.
Name and address withheld.
So sometimes she'd find like Lego Bionicle stuff, like that's the stuff she was always looking out for, and so that's how I was able to get like a bunch of bulk pieces. And I think again, I could be a little, I could be misremembering, but I vaguely remember like getting a bunch of like little Transformer things from this. Yeah, for a good 5 years, I had these this random bag of Transformers. I just had them in the bag in the basement, and then one time you were over and you saw them, and I'm like, oh yeah, I have these. I don't care for these toys.
You gave me one that was like missing a bunch of parts, but now it makes sense why they're missing stuff. Because they were just grab bag garbage from like a Goodwill or whatever.
Yeah. Now this one I remember the most out of them just because it has the most distinctive look, in my opinion.
It is.
The colors, I don't know how well they show up on the digital thing. We can play with it in post. But I always thought that the bright orange with the chrome blue and the chrome, velvet maroon looked pretty good. And my eyes just kind of gloss over the gray because I just thought, like, those are the interesting bits, and I like the color scheme.
Yeah.
And so this one was one that I always thought looked good, but because I'm just not a Transformer collector at heart, I didn't care whether or not I owned it. I just thought, oh, that looked cool, and I never bothered to transform it or anything. And so I just gave it to you.
So
someone that would appreciate it more.
So the thing about this is, for me as a Transformers enjoyer, collector, I like when you have a vehicle that turns into a pretty functional robot, right? The robot is like, that looks cool. I want it to look like a vehicle, right? I want it to look like a plane or a truck.
I think I see where you're going with this.
This, like, what the f*** is this? He's just got, like, his fists are, like, Supermaning out, like...
Yeah, what vehicle is this? You know, that's one thing that I personally wouldn't mind too much, only because this is okay, so the feet are a bit obvious. The fists, whatever, but this looks like a cool, like, science fiction-y weird machine thing that probably flies. It's like a tank with wings. What's weird is that I'm not even sure if this is, like, the primary vehicle form, because I see wheels just floating there. Are they supposed to be there?
That was what the instructions said.
And this doesn't, like, fold in to, like, be more compressed?
It said to fold the arms out, if anything. It didn't say to compact them in.
That's so weird. So, like, what are... I wonder, then, what the wheels are for.
I would assume, yeah, that's probably some other mode.
So, are there multiple... Can this turn into different vehicles, is what I wonder.
So, I'm going to be completely honest. I've turned it into the 2 robot modes. I know there's a second vehicle mode. I would assume it uses the wheels. It could be just like a landing mode for the plane, right? Because this is like a plane. And what I find weird is that the feet had jets on it. So I was like, oh, these are going to be like, you know, maybe pointing forward or pointing backwards. They're up at like a weird angle. Like, okay. I just find this so bizarre. And then, like, you see how the wheels can't fold up all the way because these things are out? It told me to do that in the instructions. So, like, this thing's just weird. And then, like, the legs don't lock in any way. Like, these just are kind of...
Okay.
It's just really bizarre.
Now, I don't know anything about...
Oh, also, he's got monkey head here. Like, okay.
Yeah, show that again. It's like lower in the frame.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay. It does seem a little lazy. Again, as someone that doesn't really collect these, I know that there's... What is it called? Kibble?
I know it was in the Bumblebee movie. They had, like, his head underneath the car. Like, just showing.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, 'cause most toys do that.
Yeah, it's an easy way to hide it. But,
well, real quick, talking about, like, this vehicle again. First off, what is this? Who is this? What series does it...
I thought you were asking the vehicle, but you don't know the character.
The character, if this is from a cartoon or a comic or anything, is this based off of, or is it just a standalone toy?
This is...
Is this from a series?
Let me...
Yeah.
Put the name...
Optimal Optimus.
Yeah, that's Optimal Optimus. So this isn't Optimus Prime.
It's not Optimus Prime.
Oh, right. It's Optimus Primal. Different from Optimus Prime.
Well, but Optimal Optimus is different from Optimus Primal, or is it Optimus Primal just in...
It's Optimus Primal after he met the dying corpse of Optimus Prime.
In what series is this? It's not G1.
Beast Wars.
The intro, doesn't it go... Beast Wars!
Yeah, it goes Beast Wars! And then it has like guitar riffs.
Rachel, you're failing math again!
I remember reading YouTube comments and everything about how Beast Wars was so good. And
It fucking sucks.
I looked it up, I watched the intro, and I'm like, this doesn't look very
Okay, here's what pisses me off. Everyone that talks about Beast Wars either A, has massive rose-tinted boner glasses for it, or B, is in denial, or C, hasn't watched it.
Yeah, most people I hear love it, it's good and everything, but I don't buy it. If I watched that and I saw how shit that animation was...
Here's the thing. I've seen it, right? And people will tell you, oh yeah, the CGI's bad, the CGI's bad.
Imagine that coming after you. Imagine.
Yes, it is bad. Even suspending that, the story's like, it's okay, but it's nothing to really write home about. Right? It's just a standard Transformers show. It's episodic. They have lessons that they learn. They do little things. It's like people that are obsessed with My Little Pony.
Here is the polka for your past rights. When we sing it, everything will be alright.
These are both Hasbro IPs. Huh, maybe there's a little bit of overlap there.
Kid with Cheeto orange teeth could not sing.
So let me, I gotta clear the air and explain who Optimus Primal is. Timeline-wise. So, timeline. Optimus Prime and Megatron fight for many heal, and then Optimus Prime die. Right? We all know this, we all remember this.
You remember this?
Yeah, I really remember this.
From the movie.
Yeah.
That's when okay.
Fast forward, like a shit ton of years. They're at the point where they're still warring, but the new leaders are a guy that calls himself Megatron, but is not Megatron, and he's purple. And a guy named Optimus Primal, who named himself after Optimus Prime.
And so this Megatron guy is not Galvatron.
Correct. It's not Megatron, it's not Galvatron, it's a completely new guy, because they're in the far future.
Okay.
Right? Okay. But the point is, they go back in time, and then they go to back to the Dino Time.
Roll back to the dawn of time.
I'm gonna show both clips.
Dino Time.
Dino Time.
Dino Time.
And then Optimus Primal meets Optimus Prime, who is dead, but his like Allspark ghost is there. If that makes sense.
It's like in the movie where he talks to
Well, because
Optimus
he finds the Matrix inside of Optimus Prime, and he's like, "You're gonna become a true Prime now." And then the Matrix like transforms him into this instead of a monkey.
But then when he turns into like his robot form, he has like a monkey face.
Here, no.
Yeah, he has his monkey face.
Yeah, but that's for when he's monkey.
So how many forms does this toy have?
4.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, we're gonna have some
Transformation.
So he has like another head somewhere?
Yeah, it's like buried.
Okay.
You'll see where it is later.
I don't like that it just flops down.
Yeah, welcome to this toy sucking.
Okay.
So things to talk about with this vehicle mode. It has a little cockpit you can open up and look at if you want to hold it close up and get a nice little
we can get
visual on that. Did you know it was able to open?
No.
Yeah, see,
I didn't really think about it.
You never knew.
But like you've seen, like you see toys like that where it just has like some shit ass like cockpit thing that's just hollow.
Yeah.
So that means you can probably put like a Minicon in there or something?
There is no Minicon that would fit in there. That's way too tiny.
Did this come with anything that would fit in there?
Nope. You must understand this also came out before the concept of Minicons.
Really?
The closest thing we had was Micromasters, but Micromasters even wouldn't fit in there.
So I wonder if this version of Optimus Primal will show up in the movies at some point.
I fucking hope not. He sucks.
This is Optimum Primal. I don't know his name. What is it?
Optimum Pride.
Optimus Primum. Optimum Primum.
He looks like fucking shit.
He's a plane.
Yeah, and he fucking sucks. Here, let me transform him. Do a
Transformation.
Am I doing it right? Okay, I guess that's how that goes together. Is he like, he turns into like a weird motorcycle? He gets, this goes like this. Okay.
I mean, fundamentally, it looks like
Shit.
the arms. Oh, gee, I wonder what part of the robot form this is.
Now you see why I was saying the Superman's hands were kind of just like, okay.
Now he's like handcuffed. It looks so weird.
Also, I love how you moved him like 2 angles and the wheels just misaligned.
I mean, it is almost Destral Cycle shaped, where you have the big wheel in the front and then like a few wheels in the back. If you know what I'm saying.
But this fucking sucks dick.
I mean, this is not that different from the previous form. It's just now he has wheels and he's a little bit more squished together.
Yeah.
He's not as like wide, but like fundamentally, it's kind of it's not that different.
Do me a favor, give it a roll. Give it like a good roll on the table.
Okay.
Do the wheels even move?
No. None of them moved. Come on. Move, damn it. Okay, these ones were.
I heard a squeak. Yeah. Ooh. Squeakiest wheel.
Again, to be fair, the traction isn't going to be the best on a hardwood kind of surface like this.
There's a reason I picked hardwood though.
Because there are Transformers that could roll on hardwood. You know, you're right. I think I've been so conditioned to shitty toys throughout my entire life that I'm like, oh, it's because it's not meant to be on a surface like this. Like, I'm making excuses for it, whereas, like, Lego never has that problem. They have, like, rubber tires and shit for all their stuff.
Yeah.
Toys that are, like, high quality, they have rubber tires.
Good toys don't do this.
By the way, the position of this, is it, like, is there, like, is it supposed to stay in one position? Like, there's nothing locking it in or anything. That's the weird thing.
Well, notice there's nothing locking most of that thing in. So, like...
That's weird. It's just his chest.
His monkey chest.
I mean, to be fair, he is ripped. But
to be fair, he's ripping ass.
Oh, hey! That's the what eventually will be the waist swivel.
Yeah, we're getting a preview at the posability. Also, could make him turn.
I guess in theory it would make this reminds me a little of the Batman, the Bat Tumbler.
All right, so first vehicle mode suck. This vehicle mode suck.
The wheels sometimes turn.
They technically still function as vehicles, but like, what the fuck even are they? This is nothing.
Well, okay, if I had to give them some leeway, I'd say it's kind of like, the Cybertronian plane that I think, Megatron turns into in one of the movies, and it's like, oh, it's just like a weird alien version of a tank or a plane or whatever, and so him, the previous vehicle form, I was like, it looks cool enough, it doesn't look like a real thing, could be better, obviously, but I don't think it's meant to look like a real, like, Earth vehicle, you know? And
right,
again, like, this also takes place either, like, in the far future or something.
A thing I'd like to kind of interject is, like, that would be a valid cope if he didn't just have arms and legs poking out. Right. Like, how much transforming did he really do? Let's be honest. He's laying face down.
I'm not defending that part. But like, as far as like the profile of what vehicle it's meant to be, I like the idea, like, again, pull up the Destro cycle, like something like that is
He
like
has a Destro
almost that.
cycle thing going on because he's got the 2 wheels in the back, 1 wheel in the front.
Yeah, it's like Destro cycle mixed with the tumbler. Have like the pictures and the plus sign.
No, it's like Destro cycle mixed with a dude laying face down.
Okay,
Transformation.
This reminds me of those like Action 52 type games, or like the games that Vinesauce review, where it's like, wow, this one disc comes with 100 games. That should be good, right? It's like this, where it's like, oh wow, this one Transformer can turn into 4 different things. That in theory sounds cool. In theory.
And then in practice, it's like, okay.
He's just laying down, and he has some wheels and wings. Oh. Wait. Are you serious? Okay, let's look at this guy. Can his feet make contact with the ground? That's the only way?
Yep.
Okay. There's no flexibility, no...
Nope.
It's just a hinge. A ratchet hinge, okay.
A lot of him's ratcheted, except for... So there's knees proper. There's knees proper, which are ratcheted, but then the transformation knees are not. So, like... They only ratchet down.
Oh. There's the ratchet. There it is.
Oh, it's ratch. Alright.
Is that rat poop?
I'm discovering new things about this toy.
That it sucks.
He can... he squeaks. He's a really squeaky guy. He can move his... Oh, there we go. Yeah. I was really worried for a second.
You're like, oh, the arms have some posability.
Yeah. I like his arms. I mean, they are a notable feature of the set as a whole, of the toy. Like, he always has his arms, and he's always like...
One thing I want to say, I love how as you're fucking around with this thing, it's making like really concerning squeaks and groans. Just from the plastic being like, please, no more.
Please, have mercy.
Please, your omnipotence, have mercy.
This would be frustrating. Okay, so far the parts that piss me off most are the knees, just because it's not clear what they're supposed to do. I'm thankful that there's these as like supports.
Yeah.
To keep him up.
Up.
Up. Come on now. He's like, up yours. And let me guess, his legs barely change?
The legs are done.
Well, his arms are pretty much the same, and I do like the arms. I actually don't have many complaints about the arms in his robot modes, but his vehicle modes, I feel like they could have hid them a little bit better.
Ditto with the legs, yeah.
But the legs, I just don't like that. There's that thing. Like, there's 2 joints on it that one of them is clearly not meant to be a load-bearing joint because it just folds backward.
And it sucks dick.
So you have to have them like lean forward like that.
Yeah.
Don't love that there's only a hinge for the ankles. No, if you have them posed like that, you're just shit out of luck. So you just gotta like.
Well, you gotta again. Remember, I said one of the rules was consider time period. At the time, it wasn't really a standard to give ankle pivots or like anything. So.
Oh my god, that is a tight ratchet.
It does have very tight ratchets. You got to admit his Optimus head in this mode Looks quite good.
Yeah, I like it.
It looks the part. Here, let me put it on the puda. Yeah. That is a good looking Optimus Primal head that's been more roboticized, made, you know, more optimal. And you might notice he has like a little gun between his nipple guns. That's actually a light. And then when he's in the monkey mode, that monkey head is between there. It's supposed to shine a light and make the eyes light up on the monkey. I don't know how it works, but it's not doing anything. So
Yeah, that's cooked.
So you said that for the time, you didn't really, there wasn't much of an expectation for more posability in the feet. Anyway,
no.
you'd almost, okay. So, you know, that's not out of the ordinary, I suppose.
Right. This was...
I don't like that.
Doesn't matter what time period you're in, that is really shit. The knees.
The only way I can pose this guy on my shelf is like that.
Here we can see Optimal Optimus standing next to OP Leader, Armada Prime, Tahu A Coke, and Gao Gaigar, as well as Guy King the Great.
So all in all, pretty crap.
He's got this cock flap.
Yep.
It's pretty good.
If you were to give like a rating, as someone on the outside looking in.
I'm on the outside. I'm looking in.
Right, who doesn't really know the figures all that well, doesn't really have a lot of exposure to them. What would you say this is?
Ooh.
Right. Would you give this a 1 out of 10, or would you give it a little bit more leniency?
That's... I'd say like a 4 or 5 out of 10.
4 or 5? Okay, you're putting this midway.
Yeah, because my frame of reference is pretty limited, but also positive points for I like the colors, I like how it looks.
It's visually appealing, yes.
It's visually appealing. It's not fun to play with per se, but you know, I do like the rigidity of the joints. You know, it could hold poses pretty well.
Save the knees.
Save the knees. Like that's the one like sour part to this. Yeah, sour region. But like, look at that. Like he looks like he's gonna conquer the world.
He's gonna kick some ass, yeah.
Yeah, like I like how he looks.
If a figure looks good, right, it can look the part.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's not really enough.
It's not a cardboard cutout, right? It's not a thing that's there just to look good. It's a figure. You play with it, you hold it, right? It's in the hand.
Yeah.
It's not a model kit, right? A model kit exists purely to look the part. And,
that's true, yeah.
Right, it can feel like shit because it doesn't matter. You're just gonna pose it and leave it. This is a toy, and so it needs to be, you know, held up to the same standards toys do. So I would say for me, this is like a 3 or a 2, where it's just really, really struggling along with like the other figures in the line, right? Because you got to think this is the same line that we got like T-Rex Megatron out of. This is the same line we got Dragon Megatron out of.
And
like,
are those good sets?
Yeah.
Okay.
These are things that like people know are better, people have bought, people enjoy, right?
Another thing too is like keep in mind we're adults looking at this toy for like people half our age at least, and or a third our age.
Yeah.
and it's like
But even as a kid, like
yeah, as a kid I would be pissed off by the legs. I would just like probably keep this on a shelf and not really touch it that often. So
worse than that, I probably would have just flung it in my toy bin at the bottom. In fact, that's where it's been the most time, just at the bottom of a toy bin.
Well, yeah, at the best I would just keep it on a shelf and not touch it.
Yeah.
Because I do like how he looks, and I really like, this is a color scheme I don't see often enough, I feel.
It is
like,
unique.
Like, yeah, orange and blue is one thing, but it's like a shiny blue, and there's this shiny maroon color.
Yeah, it's a weird combo of 3 colors that like...
And some gray. Yeah. It looks, I think it looks visually appealing. I rarely ever see something that looks like that.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm a little bit more lenient on like the appearance is pretty cool. The play factor is like almost non-existent, except for you can pose him kind of. His vehicle modes aren't that great in theory. Like I said, having 4 modes is cool, but the way that they represented it,
yeah,
I wouldn't have that much fun rolling this thing around the carpet, pretending it's a plane or a tank.
Right, because those
barely. Yeah, and even like it looked pretty delicate too, as like in its vehicle modes, like that a part will just like ratchet sideways and like oh shit,
and flop around, right? Because nothing's locked down.
Exactly.
So
yeah, I'd say a final score is like 4 out of 10.
4 out of 10. I give it a 2 out of 10. These are subject to change. We could be shown like worse shit.
Yeah.
Or stuff that's better than it, right? Maybe we see stuff and we're like, you know what, we weren't hard enough on this. Or maybe we see stuff and we're like, we were too hard. So yeah. Perfect way to end it.
Final score 3 out of 10.
The shit. That was nothing. That was nothing. I'm cutting that out. Okay. Review over. Go home, everyone. Bye.